Hey everyone, my name is Makeda Voletta, also known as the Body Scientist. And for those of you who don't know, I am a NSCA Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist and a USA Olympic weightlifting coach and a sports nutritionist. So today I'm making a video about squats. I've been training people now for about 12 years, and people have a lot of different theories about fitness. There's a lot of misinformation. But one thing that I speak about a lot and one thing that I specialize in is strength training. And the reason why strength training is important is because that's how we increase our lean body mass. And our lean body mass is our muscle and our bone. And why do we want to do that? Because as we age, like after the age of 30, we lose 2% of our muscle every year, okay? And many of you probably know about osteoporosis, which is bone loss as we age as well. And bone loss and muscle loss can be exacerbated if, from the time that you were born to the time that you were 25, which is the time that your body is building, in a state of building, if you engage in weight-bearing activities, if you play sports and jump off of things, then your bone density will be good and you get good musculature. And then after 25, 30, you're in a state of breakdown, you're in a catabolic state. So what you did during those developmental years and what you continue to do after your 25, 30 in a state of breakdown determines how your body ages, okay? Now, muscle, the roles that muscle, the functions that it plays in our body is, number one, it's the metabolic tissue of our body. So muscle burns calories. Muscles will burn calories. So the more muscle somebody has, the more calories they burn at rest, even when they're doing nothing at all. Also, the more muscle somebody has, the more calories they need and the more protein they need to keep their muscle. If they don't eat enough calories and if they don't eat enough protein, then their muscle will start to eat itself. Their body starts to eat the muscle and eats itself, okay? So you get muscle depletion, which is what happens if people go on diets. Like, let's say people want to lose body fat and they're like, I'm going to go on a diet, I'm going to restrict my eating, okay? And they eat a little bit of something, and they're still starving. And what happens is your body eats its muscle. And then when your body eats your muscle, your body thinks you're starving, and then you start storing body fat, okay? And this can happen to thin people too. There are skinny, flabby, fat people. So there's skinny fat and then there's fat, but in order to keep your body fat down, you need to increase your muscle, period, okay? So muscle is the metabolic tissue of the body, number one. Number two, muscle moves bone. And what do I mean by that? Well, if I contract my bicep muscle connects to my shoulder to my elbow. If I contract this muscle, my bicep muscle shortens and contracts to pull my forearm up, okay? So it's pulling my forearm up. It's my bicep muscle doing that. My shoulder muscles, my deltoids right here, 3 shoulder muscles. If I go up to the side, it's my medial deltoid. These 3 deltoid muscles, especially the one in the middle, that's contracting to pull my arm up, okay? Or if I want to bring my leg up to the front, it's my quadriceps and my abdominal muscles that are contracting to help pull my leg up, okay? Especially my quadricep. So flexibility also has to do with muscle strength, because if somebody can only lift their leg to right here and they can't get it all the way up to here, somebody could think, oh, they need to stretch. Yeah, maybe they need to stretch their hamstrings a little bit. But more than anything, they need to strengthen their quads, because the more powerfully their quads can contract, the higher up it can bring the leg, okay? So muscle is the metabolic tissue of the body. Muscle moves bone. Muscle is also a shock absorber. So for people who like to go to dance classes and jump around, or you want to go play basketball or on the weekend with your friends, or you want to go play a softball game with your co-workers, or you want to go skating with your kids on the weekend, go play tag with your kids, whatever. It's something the fitness industry calls weekend warriors, which are regular people who work regular jobs who decide to get up one day and go play for fun with their kids, or go play for fun with their friends, and they pull muscles and injure themselves, okay? Or let's say, if somebody has a knee injury or a hip injury, you definitely want to strengthen the muscles around your hips, strengthen the muscles around your knees, so that it takes the stress off your knee joints. Muscle absorbs shock. So if you have some kind of like joint problem, you always want to strengthen the muscle around the joint so it can take the shock and stress off of your joints. But if you don't have any joint problems, then you still want to keep your muscles strong so that you don't get joint problems as you age. You have a lot of people who get to be 40, 50, 60 and they're like, oh, my back hurts because I'm getting old. Oh, my knees hurt because I'm getting old. And it's not because they're getting old, it's from years of not engaging in muscle building activities. We can do anabolic muscle building activities, or we can do catabolic muscle depleting activities. And I talk about that a lot in my YouTube video, 3 fitness mistakes. So make sure you look at that so you can understand the difference between anabolic and catabolic. So I'm not going to get too much into that in this video. So muscle is a shock absorber, it is a metabolic tissue of the body, and it moves muscle. And we have fast twitch and slow twitch muscle fibers, which I won't get into too much into today. But one of the most important exercises that you can do for men and women is squats. It's essential because our legs carry us around our entire life. All the core muscles are worked when you do a squat. A lot of people think core muscles are just the abs. Okay, no. Core muscles are all of the muscles that act on the hips, all of them. Okay, so all the muscles that cross the hips. So you have your quadriceps, your hip flexors, of course, all your abdominal muscles, your rectus abdominis, your obliques that go diagonal, and your transverse abdominis. Also your glutes, your hamstrings back here, and your lower back muscles, and your urogenital and pelvic diaphragms that we have down here, and all the muscles that support your sexual organs. They're all a part of your core muscles. And you work all of those muscles when you do squats. For women, a lot of people know about my central strength training class and working with a yoni egg to strengthen internally. But when you do squats with weight, it also strengthens these muscles, strengthens the vaginal muscles as well. Okay, so it's very, very important. Now, you want to do squats with weight. Why do you want to do it with weight? Because your legs carry you around your entire life. So you can do body weight with other parts of your body if you choose to, but your legs carry you around your entire life. So your legs can take weight, and they should have weight on them. You want to activate as many muscle fibers as possible when you strengthen your body, okay? And I won't get too much into that now, but you can find out more about that on my blog and my 3 fitness mistakes video, okay? So with squats, I'm going to there's a few different ways to do squats. But with every exercise that you do, no matter if you're doing bicep curls, shoulder press, you always want to have the same starting position. And that is chest out, rotated out, shoulders rotated back, okay? Your abs are engaged and your hips are neutral. And your knees are slightly bent. So what that means is you don't want your chest out so much, you don't want to be like this, okay? And you don't want to suck your abs in so much that you can't breathe. Not like that, okay? You just want to have your chest rotated out, shoulders back, relaxed. No stress in your neck. Abs engaged, like if somebody were to come pop you in the stomach, somebody were to come hit you, you would tighten your abs, right? Hips neutral. What neutral hips means, not flat back, which was taught in the fitness industry when I first got certified as a group fitness instructor back in 2001. It was flat back, but not everybody has a flat back. Some people have a natural curvature in their back, and trying to get a flat back is actually very damaging. So instead of saying flat back, we now say neutral hips. So neutral hips means if your hips were a bowl of water, okay, filled to the top. If you stand like this, all the water is going to fall back this way. And if you stand like this, all the water is going to fall out this way. So you want to make sure that your hips are neutral, okay? Neutral hips. Knees slightly bent, which is the athletic stance. For all sports, people know knees slightly bent because you want to be grounded. If you stand with your knees locked and somebody comes and pushes you, you're just going to fall back. You have no way to balance yourself. So you have a slight bend in your knees, okay? This is your starting position for everything. Chest out, shoulders rotated back, abs engaged, neutral hips, knees slightly bent. Now, where you place your feet is up to you. The taller you are, the longer your legs are, the wider you'll have to put your legs. But just make sure it's wide enough so that you can squat. Now, when you do squats, your heels should never come off the floor. Sometimes in dance classes, there are moves where people do squats with their hips off the floor. That's another story. But when you have weight on your back, you do not at all want to have your heels come off the floor. So when you're doing squats, you are mentally focused on sitting back. You want your hips and your knees bend at the same rate. You're sitting back, you're reaching back with your butt, and you're sitting back into your heels, keeping your chest up, looking straight ahead, until your legs are parallel to the ground. So you're right here. And then you come up slowly. And when you come up, you come back to starting position, which means your hips come right back here, and your knees are still bent. So you go down, you inhale through your nose on the way down. The whole time you're inhaling through your nose as you're reaching back with your butt and sitting into your heels. Don't be afraid of falling, just reach back and sit into your heels. Go down to your parallel to the ground. And then you hold your breath as you come up. And then once you get to the top, exhale. Knees still bent. What you do not want to do, you don't want to go down, you don't want to go straight down and then have your heels come up like that, because this is going to injure your knees. So you're not going down like this. You don't want to go down and then go back. That's also wrong, okay? You also don't want to go down and then come up like this. This is not where you started. This is the wrong position. You shouldn't be here. This is not right. This is not right. Okay, you want to come back to here, where you started. Your hips back underneath you, knees slightly bent. Now I'm going to use this broomstick because I'm in my bedroom right now, not in the gym. So I'm going to pretend this is a barbell. And it's good to, if you have a gym membership, which is one of the main reasons why I definitely go to the gym, is to work my legs, because body weight is not going to cut it. You can get on the Smith machine first. The Smith machine is when the barbell is attached to the apparatus. It doesn't come off. The Smith machine is good to start with because it helps you perfect your form and feel comfortable with something on your back before you go do free weights. Because when you do a free weight squat and where the barbell is linked into, the thing, and you step up and you put that barbell on your shoulders, when you lift it up and step back, you feel the barbell pulling you. So it really works your core like crazy. Doing squats with weight really works your core. So you feel it pulling you, so you have to have good balance and perfect technique to do squats with a free weight barbell. And that should be your goal. In terms of progression, because in the gym, the free weight barbell weighs 45 pounds. So if you put 25 pounds on both sides, you're really lifting 95 pounds, okay? So I would say start in the Smith machine, and once you can do 3 sets of 15 squats with 50 pounds on the Smith machine, which would be 25 pound plates on both sides. Once you can do 3 sets of 15 at that, then you're strong enough and your form is perfect, then you're strong enough to go ahead and start doing the free weight squats. And I would start first with just the bar, which is 45 pounds, and slowly work your way up, okay? So when you're putting this on your shoulders, I'm going to show you a few things. You're going to look at my upper shoulders right here. When you put the barbell on your shoulders, you don't want it resting on your neck bone, okay? So you don't want it right here on your vertebrae and your neck bone because it'll hurt. Instead, you want to make sure that you're in the right position, and right here on the pads of my muscles right here is where the bar will sit. So the bar will sit right here, okay? Not on your neck bone, but right here, okay? And you keep your abs engaged. So as you go down, you inhale through your nose, stick your butt back, sit into your heels, and then hold your breath and push up. Exhale once you're on top, okay? Now, you don't want, and this is what a lot of people do when they don't have a barbell on their shoulders, when people just do regular squats, a lot of what people do is they'll go down like this. You don't want to do this, because if you have weight in your shoulders, it's going to fall on you and hurt you. So that's why it's really important to make sure you keep your chest up, okay? So if you don't have weight, pretend like you have something on your shoulders, and up. The purpose of the breathing, you inhale through your nose on the way down because it fills your inner thoracic cavity with air. So your inner thoracic cavity is the empty space in between your lungs and your ribs, and all this empty space right here. As you go down, you inhale through your nose. This whole area fills with air. Then you hold your breath and contract your abs. That helps to protect your spine when you have, again, your weight on your shoulders. So you have to protect your spine. So you hold your breath, squeeze your abs, and push with all your might. And once you get to the top, you release that air. You do not want to start exhaling from down here. You don't want to go down here and then start exhaling right there, because you're releasing the tension all in here. All that stress can go into your spine or onto your back, and then you end up with a back injury. Squats are very good for your whole entire body. There's a lot of myths that squats are bad for you, they're bad for your knees. No, they're not. Not unless you're doing them incorrectly, okay? So somebody, and I see this a lot, especially from men in the gym, You have to stick your butt out because you have to keep your spine aligned properly and your hips neutral. You do not want to injure your back, trust me, because if you get a slip disc or some type of spinal injury, they're usually permanent and very painful. So you want to protect your spine. So what I see a lot of men do in the gym is they go down and they get here and then this curls under. If this happens, you're asking to injure your back. You should not curl under right here. It needs to be here, okay? And up. Stick your butt back, sit into your heels, and up. You do not want to do like this, okay? No, big no-no. Also, you only injure your knees if your knees go over your toes. So if you do your squats and you go down, you go straight down like this, yeah, you're asking to injure your knees. Now you do this, asking to injure your knees. But as long as you do it correctly, the way that I've explained it to you, you will not injure your knees, you will not injure your back. Instead, you'll strengthen and you'll prevent getting those kind of injuries as you age. If you do things, like a lot of people are doing P90X and all these different workouts that are plyometric where you're jumping. And before you start doing plyometrics, which is what all basketball players do, football players do, soccer athletes, track athletes, any athletes that need to be explosive, they do plyos. And that's like if I were to jump like that, as high as I can. Every time my feet hit the ground, I explode back up. My feet hit the ground, I explode back up. It could be on off a bench, whatever. Those are plyos. Push-ups are plyos. Before you do something like that, you need to be able to lift 1 to 1.5 times your body weight. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you should be able to squat 150 pounds before you start jumping all over the place. Or else, your muscles are not strong enough to take all the stress that's being put onto your bones from gravity coming down on you. Okay? So that's very important, progression. Strength training is vital. Okay? So, I think I'm going to stop this video here. There are different ways to do squats. I gave you a basic squat. There are also front squats and back squats and deep squats. I'll address that in some future videos. But for now, yeah, basic squats. Definitely do it with weight. It's much more effective. You activate a lot more of your muscles. And so yeah, you can find me on Facebook at Makeda Voletta, The Body Scientist. You can find me on YouTube. You can put my name, Makeda Voletta, The Body Scientist 81. And my website, thebodyscientist.com. And you can email me at MVoletta@thebodyscientist. All the information is below on my page. And yes, I am available for training and private sessions. Thank you guys. Bye. Hope it was helpful.